Linux. I've been using Linux, a Linux server for quite a while, a few years now. And I have a basically a 1650 doing my transcoding. And so go in here, see it keeps failing on the upgrade of it. So I keep having this problem with my drivers failing. So what happens is, like, when this happens, transcoding don't work right. And so what happens with a lot of people when they try to, run a system or run movies, it fails. So I have to go in. So I have CD, one, CD A1, and then CD transcode. I think it was under, it's drive 1, then transcode. Okay, so I'm finally into the right folder. So I just have to then reinstall the driver. This is really annoying, having to do this every so often. It doesn't even tell you that the driver isn't even installed anymore. So in reality, then it uses my CPU to authenticate it, which is really annoying. And so I've been dealing with this for years, with the drivers uninstalling itself, things like that. It gets really old really quick. And so I was thinking about it, and I do have quite a bit of storage and things like that. And so I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So as this is getting passed through, and there's a few problems I have with the alternative that I'm doing, but which goes against things I've been doing for years, right? It said it wasn't installed. Now it's then installing it. Ridiculous. And so it uninstalls it without telling you. Okay. So Plex, it's okay, because if something happens with the transcoding, it continues to work. But with Jellyfin and NB, it doesn't do that. So then we need to patch the driver. And then we need to check to see if it actually exists still. And it's back. So now I can do transcoding. Oops. So here's my drive setup. I have a 13 terabyte, I have a 11 terabyte, I have a 15 terabyte. And they're all lined up in numbers 1, 2, and 3. So here's all my drives, right? Cool. Okay, so what am I going to do? Well, you ask. Well, that's a good question. So basically, this is my anime server. Here's all my, a lot of my files and stuff. And here is the Windows server. So why are you doing Windows? Well, that's a simple answer. Well, if I've been running across this issue for years, having hacked processor drivers, things like that, it's time. It's really time. Currently, I have all this set up under a USB. So basically, this is all a USB hub of 5. I have a 5-slot USB hub for these. And to add in drives and stuff, it's quite a process to add in extra drives. So if anything ever happens to me and someone takes over my server, you know, like, to keep it going, they're going to have a hard time doing all this. So, especially not knowing that the freaking drive breaks. So, my option is to go and do something else. So, I grabbed Windows Server. There's a few things I don't like about the Windows Server. One is like the device manager. For some dumb reason, drivers don't like install. So I can't get my Ethernet adapter to install or the wireless card adapter to install in Windows Server. So I have Server 2022 Standard Edition. And so I do have a network adapter. It's a 2.5 gigahertz USB adapter, which I'm going to keep this. I was going to go and get a PCIe card, but I'm going to use a USB-C because I have a USB-C port on the back of my computer. So the transport should be perfect for what I need for my server. So another thing I have a hard time with is because people like show you, oh, you could do this and that and the other, right? So here's the server manager. They're like, yeah, server manager, great. You go in down here to files and services. Oh, wow, I finally got shares. It wasn't even like letting the shares actually work. Now it's actually working correctly. So great. I didn't even have a share before, but I had to go through a different way to do it. So yay. Now I can add in a new share and I can do it all through here. Great. So I guess that's working now. But the reason I went with a server and not with Windows 11 is because I didn't want it to reboot on its own. So there we have that. So it kind of sucks because I have like broken drivers, things like that. Another thing I have a problem with is let's see here. Let me open up a new folder. This PC. To add in a new location, right? You go and you add in no location found. So I couldn't even like map the drive right. So what I had to do is go in and install FTP into the Linux server to pull all the files over. So now I'm transferring the data this way, even though I have a file share of this one. And these drives match the same size as the one on the Ubuntu server because I had these as a backup. So now these are going to become the main hard drives. And then the backup server, my original Ubuntu server will become my backup server. So all my data will then go back to that. And so there you go. And I haven't even covered like really what else what graphic card I'm going to tackle here either. I'm going to go ahead and pull open my web browser on my computer to make sure that I don't have anybody in the chat here. So let me pull forward from here. Just a second. Let me pull up my YouTube channel here and see if I can find this streaming because there might be people watching. So let me turn that off and see. Okay, so I'm the only one watching, which is fine. Okay, so the other option too is that I'm going to be dealing with is I guess there's 2 people watching now. Is now going to get the device driver for a graphics card. So basically, right now I'm using a 1660 Super, or not a 1660 Super, but a 1650 4 gigabyte VRAM NVIDIA card to do all my transcoding. Right now I don't have that card in. I don't have a card right now. I'm waiting for a card to come in for the Windows server. And so basically, I'm not going to be using the 1650 NVIDIA because you have to use modded drivers. You saw me install the driver earlier. There's no reason to use that. You have to use modded drivers. Your only option really with that GPU is to use Ubuntu and not use Docker and just use Ubuntu and then use patch drivers. That's why I've been running Ubuntu server for so long. And so, yeah. So yeah, that's what I got. And then, yeah. So this computer's not too bad. It's a 8th gen i5. So it's going to be way more than enough. But what I'm getting now is going to A380 for transcoding. So basically, a lot of people are going that way. But they're using Windows 11. I'm going to be using a server because I feel like it's a good card for what we're losing. Oh, hey, how you guys doing? Hello from Sweden and hello, God's Arts. Nice. Yeah, I'm basically at least 60 terabytes. Yeah, I have at least 25 terabytes in my servers. Yeah, they're pretty. It's pretty big. So if I go back to my back to here, you can see that I have 13, 11, and 15 after the hard drive tax. Basically, you buy a 16 terabyte, you only get a 15 terabyte. You know, so they kind of fuck you over like a few terabytes when you buy bigger drives. But anyway, yeah. So what I found is people are going for it to do transcoding abundantly with these art cards. There's no hacked drivers that you have to deal with. So like I don't have to deal with installing hacked drivers and patching. No more of that bullshit. I'm not going to be dealing with NVIDIA's bullshit anymore. So basically I had to switch. And then a lot of people say that the Windows version of Plex and Jellyfin is actually pretty decent. So that's why I switched to the Windows version of Plex. It's kind of a crazy way to do it, but I guess that's what I had to do. I found actually a pretty legit site. I don't know how legit, but it was legitimate enough for me. I went and bought Windows Server Standard 2022 for $11. So I got that for $11, and so it's gonna actually. A lot of people are gonna that are using my server are gonna enjoy it. It's gonna make things work a lot faster, a lot easier. There's gonna be less downtime, less problems. So I'm pretty pumped about all the changes and all the stuff. This thing punches way above its weight. I got it for $90. And so that's pretty freaking exciting. And I'm pretty excited about it. The transcode ability with MB. So even these guys are like, holy shit, this thing's freaking amazing. And so people are like excited about these cheap cards because they can do so much for so little investment. But like I say, I run into problems with the Windows server. But the reason I went with the server, like I said before, is I don't want it to reboot. Because Windows 11, you could like go in and like randomly you'll have like a restart. See how it has the updates? Always have an update. It's every single damn time you have an update. And so it gets real old really fast. So with the server, I don't have to deal with updates. I don't care if things, like if all the drivers aren't there. All I care about is if it can serve enough to to facilitate what I need, which is my anime server. So basically, so far, let me see here. So far, my server is let's see here. Home. Here we go. Okay, so home, and then so pretty cool. But this is my newest part of the files. Let me just actually grab a better browser, because you can't even read half of it because it's all crazy. So I'll just drag this, drop it over here. Okay, so this is pretty much what I'm dragging over now. I don't have very much on the server yet when it comes to the library, but if I just update this, it'll then update what I have down here, and it's just adding the oldest anime I have first. So that makes it pretty nice. Yeah. Working with AMD and motherboard. Oh no, it's all Intel. Yeah, so basically I'm going from an AMD Ubuntu server to a Intel GPU, and I'm going to go to an Intel GPU as well. So yeah, so this is an Intel i5 8600, so 8th gen. I'm going from a Ubuntu server. Oh, my Ubuntu server is actually an Intel i7 7th generation. Sorry, with a NVIDIA card. So my Ubuntu server is a NVIDIA card with an i7 7th generation card. And I don't remember exactly what processor's in it, but it's 7th gen. I know that for sure. I just forget because I have a little bit of computers, and then I got mixed up because my computer itself is a because the last few computers I bought have been AMDs. So this one here is a AMD 5700G. So like that's not a bad processor at all. But and the processor I have and the GPU I have in here is an A770. So I've already had like experience with our cards. So, and it's amazing in here, but like here it's going to be more Intel, just for transcoding purposes. As far as sharing, I don't know why it's not letting it go between the two, but FTP is fine. I can just use FTP to back up and restore the thing, and then my original like Plex server and all that stuff will be like just a backup. So basically, the original main server is going to be the backup server now. And what's cool about that is the hard drives that I have in here. So these hard drives have probably less than a week of hours of use. So these all haven't been used more than a few hours at a time. So what that means is the life of this hard drives, they don't spin and spin and spin for days on end. These are pretty much brand new hard drives that I haven't used. And the hard drives that I have in my server, they're all Western Digital, and they all been running for probably a straight 6 months at least. So the newest hard drive out of all these is this one, and then the second newest is this one, and then the third newest is this one. So this is the oldest one I have in my arsenal. So yeah, I don't do raids though. I just do a straight backup, and then I disconnect things from the network, so I don't have to worry about like power surges, things like that. The system, these are all offline backups. So what I did here was these were my original backup drives, and I had backup data on them, and they were formatted in Linux. So I just formatted them. I just deleted them because I didn't really need to keep it, because I figured just use these and then just transfer the data over. But yeah, so that's pretty much my goal, is to fix my server so that's not so shitty. Because this situation was pretty bad, especially when you go in and says your driver when your driver uninstalls itself. That right there just drives you bananas because it doesn't warn you. And then there's my enable FTP, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I have quite a bit of stuff to do, transfer over. When I try to do like a backup, so when I was doing this, I was like, yeah, let me back up something. And then there was a when I was backing it up, through here, and it like failed on this file. So what I'm doing is just whatever failed when originally transferring, I'm just moving it back over just to kind of just help along whatever was missed the last time. Which this is the slow way around to doing it, because now I'm like Samba sharing from two different computers and sharing it. If I go and I transfer from here, it's just to one computer and then the local. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing. But yeah, yeah. So I did get this server for this whole computer for $30, and then I got the so I got the i5 8th gen CPU computer, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig hard SSD M.2 for $30. They said at the yard sale that I got it from, they said that the power supply worked. It said that the whole thing worked, and when I went to plug it in and turn it on, nothing. So I had to go buy a power supply, which was $60, which isn't terrible. And then so I got a 700 watt power supply, and then I'm just waiting for a $90 GPU, which the transcoding people are saying it's really great. And a lot of YouTube videos of people dealing with these A360s, and people are just like wowed by how great these cards are for the price. So if you guys do have a server, mostly recommended. I mean, you can even do an A360 with with Ubuntu as well. I just felt like it was time to switch over to a different platform, because I heard that like Jellyfin was like a better solution. So if I go over to Jellyfin, I can then download my server, and then I can actually use a Windows. And I hear that the Windows client is actually decent, is what I hear. And I've never used the Windows server for Jellyfin, so this is kind of different. I'll just do this one. So that would be kind of cool, kind of a change. I also have an MB, but I'll do that because I have to put in a license key. I don't want to do that on the air here, because I don't want to give away my license key for my MB. But it's pretty cool. So yeah, so I hear that like Jellyfin runs better on the server on Windows. Another issue I have with this is like a lot of this stuff just like becomes kind of shitty through the woods here, and they have like several different versions of the same version of like different things, and it seems like things just don't run right with Jellyfin and Ubuntu for some unknown reason. It's just problematic, and I'm tired of it. So I just figured, let's just keep anyway. There we go. Thank you. So I just figured just to grab that up. Yeah, it didn't like me. Let's see here. Agree. Basic. Oh, record that. Okay. I'll just do standard. And this computer flies, man. Like, it was really good with Windows 11 on it, but the server 2022 is pretty cool. I've never ran a server before, so I'm just kind of pleasantly surprised when it comes to that. Okay. Localhost. Okay. That's kind of cool. Username. I'm going to move this off the screen for just a sec here because I don't want... my password to show. Just in case. You never know. Okay. Add a media library. Content type. TV. So you just do shows. Just do dubbed. Grab a folder. X. Dubbed. Boom. Enable. Open database. We can add in other things in a moment. It's probably best not to add that in quite yet, because what we need to do is change up this stuff, because it doesn't, like, it's gonna grab wrong and we can't do that. So we're gonna do that for now. Yes. Enable format automatically public ports. Okay. I'll just no. Finish. Okay. Cool. Save. All right, nothing here. Cool. All right, so what we need to do is actually go in here to dashboard. We need to go down here to plugins. Then we need to add in anime database and other databases, because we need to add in catalog, repositories. Okay, cool. So catalog. So we need to add in anime databases, because like the anime database needs to be installed. So we need to install that. Done. And then we need analyst, which was probably a good one to have. And then there's this XME one. I think it's called XME. Oh, here it is, Kazutsu. Okay, cool. That's the one I wanted. All right, cool. So we got a few of these now in there. So now when I go into my libraries, I can then do shows dubbed. And then we can add in this one. Okay, cool. So there we go. And then what we need to do is actually restart the server. So dashboard, restart, go. So the reason to restart it. All right. Hey, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm just kind of messing around with my server thingy here. So no problem. libraries. Okay, then I got to modify this. Edit. Manage library. Now I can move these in. Because you don't want it to download the wrong information. So a lot of times what happens is the information gets wrong. So that's why we want to grab the correct information. Okay, cool. So now we can then scan all libraries. Boom. And now all the metadata is there. And there we are. Unfortunately, there's no transcoding right now because the dashboard and then transcoding. Let's see. General. Is there transcoding anywhere? I can't remember where the transcoding is. Yeah, let's see. Splash screen. Oh, that's kind of cool. And then playback, transcoding. Oh yeah, so we can have the Intel whatever, all that stuff. Yeah. Fortunately, right now we don't have any. We don't have any. So we can do like Excel World. Okay. Oops. I don't know why it's doing that. We can play it. And boom. Hello. How are you doing? How's your day going? Yeah. See how it's jolty? Yeah, that is not good. That's because I don't have transcoding yet. And so once that's done, it's pretty cool. But we just did a quick install of Jellyfin, which is kind of nice. The latest beta version. Well, boom. And what's cool too is with Windows, it can update a lot easier, and then I don't have to worry about things being dumb. But yeah. So that's pretty cool. Plex, you can identify. Boom. That's it. Pretty simple. I think this is going to be way nicer. I hear like that the Jellyfin's better in Windows Server. I hear that Plex is better in Windows Server. I hear that. I wonder if like certain other things are fixed. Like, let's see here. Yeah, so that's not fixed in this because it says that the season 2 has the same name as season 3, or so the episodes are the same. Yeah. So another thing, let's do another one that's multiple seasons. Is this one multiple seasons? Yeah. So like this one's, it didn't even pull the metadata. Oh, I got it here. Okay. So yeah, so Jellyfin needs to have something fixed about it because that's just crazy. But yeah, pretty cool. Just getting that ready to go. But yeah, so let's see here. So that's transferring over like one of my hard drives. That's all added. Cool. Yeah. All right, well, I think this is pretty much the end of it, of the stream. I was just kind of messing around with like the new Windows server. Looks a lot like just regular good old Windows 11, but shittier driver support. All right, guys. You guys have a good night, and thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. Bye-bye, guys.